From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen, and proudly welcoming you to this Tuesday's edition of For the People on November the 21st, 2017. We got a big show lined up for you. If you're new to For the People and you're traveling, you can find us at forthepeopleshow.com. If you travel outside of the listening area where you're listening to the station, we get a lot of new people during the holidays. Just reminded that people are on the highways traveling, or maybe you're in a rental car and you're listening to the broadcast. If you like the show, you like what you're hearing, like to weigh in on anything, it's forthepeopleshow.com or For the People Show on Facebook. And if you're a tweeter and you want to tweet me something, you can do it hashtag talk, TALK, to TO Keith Allen, and Allen's ALAN. This basketball deal in China has become rather a spectacle. And I'm really just wondering at this point the motivation behind LeVar Ball. He's denying that he's in a feud with President Donald Trump, and basically repeatedly refused on CNN to offer a thank you to Donald Trump for his role in release of his sons and the two other UCLA basketball players. It just doesn't seem to me like a father should be acting. I think he's playing more towards the cameras, or maybe it's just sheer ignorance, but I just think that there's something else here. I think this is a moment for him to dump on the president for number one, because he definitely doesn't seem like he's a big fan. You know, if this was Obama and he intervened and he talked to Xi Jinping there in China and he negotiated, he'd be high-fiving him. It would be a complete, because it's Donald Trump, and here is LeVar Ball. We have a couple pieces of audio for you, but here's cut number one.
Now, how'd they get to the hotel on bail?
Did you make that happen?
Somebody had to do something.
Did you do it?
I'm just telling you, somebody had to do it. Did he do it?
I'm asking you, did you do it?
I'm asking you, did he do it?
Now, mind you, this interview took place on CNN. Okay, this wasn't the Fox News channel. The reporter just asked him, did you do it? Were you responsible for bringing your kid home? And the nonsense just continues. Check this out.
Did you think that the president helped the boys get out?
That's because you have to listen very slowly, carefully.
I'm trying.
Did he help the boys get out? I don't know.
Why do you doubt it?
I don't know. If I was going to thank somebody, I'd probably thank President Xi. It wasn't like he was in the U.S. and said, okay, there's 3 kids in China. I need to go over there and get them.
Okay.
That wasn't the thought process.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
What we're talking about right now is a lot of stuff about my son just because his last name is Ball. We're not even talking about the other 2 kids.
Why won't you say thank you to the president?
It doesn't make... Well, if somebody does something for you, then you say thank you.
Somebody did something for you.
If that's your opinion that he's done for me, okay. I would say thank you if he would have put him on his plane and took him home.
First of all, the president can't fly Trump plane into China's airspace. It's Air Force One. He would be flying, actually, the Trump plane if he could, because it actually is more hooked up than Air Force One. Now, I don't know about the makeup of the plane as far as EMP protection and all that other stuff, but as far as accommodations go, that's in Trump style. Air Force One is nice. But anyways, that's neither here or there. It's definitely a dad who, to me, I think is trying to get more press. He's not liking Donald Trump. He's ignorant, but I think Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, really touched on something pretty large in the making that's going on around the country. And here's what he had to say a little bit earlier.
I just think this is a sign of what's sick about America. The people don't take responsibility. They don't take accountability. Now, probably Trump shouldn't have said I should have left him in jail.
I think it was rhetorical, and actually Sarah Huckabee Sanders, White House press secretary, said so.
The president was a rhetorical response to a criticism by the father. Again, I think the president was happy to see the release of these individuals and have them back in the United States.
All right. So, folks, it is a breakdown where there is just no respect for the presidency. And this has been happening. This has been in the making. It's not just Donald Trump. It's for law enforcement officials. We see the border guards being stoned, being shot, officers being shot point blank range. There is this hatred that's on our streets, and it's anarchy. It really is. And this stuff fuels this particular behavior. It fuels this particular evil that lurks throughout our country. And I think it's very dangerous, to be quite honest with you. This is not helpful at a time right now where I think our country is extremely fragile. And I don't think that this is very helpful at a place right now where, to be quite honest with you folks, all hell could break loose. I think about so many of the things that is reported in the news or underreported about organizations that are fueled from the left that are trying to coup Donald Trump, blast the White House, literally take it over, do whatever they possibly can. Folks, there's just people at work trying to destroy America from within. And our founders, that was their fear. It wasn't from foreign invaders. It was from within. They said if this democracy would end, it would be from within. And I'm just kind of wondering right now what the motivation is. Do they really want their country destroyed? Do they really want us to be taken over by a foreign invader? Now, most good Democrats, most good Republicans would say, hell no. Good ones. Good ones. And I just wonder how much good is left in this world. And the reason I say that, because that's pretty, it's pretty low. It's pretty depressing. And the reason I say this is because I was reading a scripture in the New Testament where Jesus says, on his return, he asked a question, and he said, would the Son of Man find faith on earth? Would he find it? And there just seems to be a lot of faithless folks out there that, because of the unbelief, because they really, truly, honestly don't have faith in anything, they could succumb to any type of behavior. And I think that's what we're seeing happen, manifested, where people, they just don't care. They don't have a moral compass. There's no true north. They don't have any mentors in their life, and I think that's a big part of it. They don't have any spiritual head in their household. They don't dare read scriptures, pray, have an attitude of gratitude. And this dad clearly does not have an attitude of gratitude. It almost sounds like, his son, it wasn't a big deal what he did. He just stole some sunglasses. It wasn't a big deal. It's just sunglasses. People do a lot worse in L.A. Who cares? The president cared. The president asked the president of China that did not have to allow these players to come home. Mind you, how many other Americans are in jail that did far less in other jails, like in Iran, just because they're American? I don't get the mindset, and I think it's embarrassing for a country altogether.
People should be pretty irritated that these guys who have a privileged life, have a privileged future, have the chance for a multi-million-dollar career in the NBA, are out here, embarrassing America, looking stupid, and doing something that's totally dumb. And I'm embarrassed for that father, that he didn't have the decency to say, "Thank you, Mr. President."
Yeah, Newt Gingrich, it's an ignorant father, dumb, but here's the problem. This ignorance is a lot of places. People feed off the negativity. They feed off this. They think it's funny for somebody to say that, and it just plays right in to this negative narrative that seems to fester throughout this country. And it's really, really sad when you think about it. It's sad. It makes me sad for a country. However, we still have to go to work, and we still have to vote in folks that measure up with our values. Despite all the negativity and the things that are going on in our country, I think that there is a shakeup going on with all these sexual allegations. Charlie Rose, the new one on PBS and CBS. We'll hear more about that coming up on the broadcast, but I think it's a shakeup. I think it's almost like God is judging this country. In other words, people's sins are coming to light. And I knew that this would be Pandora's box. I've been talking about it for months, that this would be bigger, and it's the tip of the iceberg. We haven't seen anything yet. I mean, it seems like every week there's something new. Another allegation with Al Franken, squeezing the hiney at a fair, which may seem innocent to some, but if it's a perfect stranger grabbing your wife's hiney, your girlfriend, your daughter's hiney, you think that's funny? I don't think it's funny. I think it's disgusting. Unwanted advances, women certainly don't want them. Again, I can't wrap my mind around that, but I had sisters. I have respect for women. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a guy. I love the ladies. But I never forced myself, on a lady, unless she actually wanted it when I was out dating. But, that's just me. And that's a lot of decent people that, obviously listen to the broadcast. That's their mindset. Again, some of this stuff but people's sins will find them out sooner or later. And I think this is a reckoning. And I think this could purge out people that their behaviors have been buried, dormant, thinking that it's not going to come back and hit them. And it's embarrassing for many people with their careers have just, it supersedes anything terrific, anything great that these people have done. And here's the terrible thing about it is that a lot of these guys, like Al Franken, Charlie Rose, they'll say things like, for a long, long time, I've been an advocate for women's rights. I mean, maybe that in your heart of hearts and deep down, that's the right thing to do. But there's a word called hypocrite. And it just makes it go down even worse. And that's the card that a lot of these guys are playing. I'm like, stop it already. Just confess that you were wrong. You need help. I don't know if 60 or 70 years old, you can actually change your dance. But it's just, it's hard to not see past those particulars. And with